Page 168 is a very famous melody by Beethoven. It's the last movement of his Ninth Symphony, based on the poem Ode to Joy. There's words to it and all that. You can listen. This is an ensemble arrangement. So we got 4 parts. You can see the lines of the stabs are all connected, vertical lines. There's no grand staff here. It's a line that's not for piano necessarily, although piano can play. Any instrument that can play these notes can play it. And you play together as an ensemble. You can have more than one person playing a part too. But playing ensemble music can be a challenge. It's got other things going along with it. It isn't like playing solo all the time. And then, of course, they want you to harmonize to it. But let's just take this one thing at a time. I want to play through all the parts first, because you might be needing to play any part. So look it over. It's 2 pages long total. You think, wow, that's really long. Well, not really, because it's like on page 168, there's only 2 lines. And if 2 lines, wait a minute, I see 8 stabs there. Now, a line is all the stabs that go together. And you're playing 4 stabs at the same time, not one person, but there are. So that's 1 line of music. So it's 2 lines there, and then there's 3 lines on page 169. Yeah. The clef signs, basically, you got a couple on the treble clef, a couple on the bass clef, okay. 1 sharp, we're in the key of G major, okay, and 4/4 time. So the top part. The only change I made in the fingering was going from measure 12 to 13. Here. I don't want to use, that's a stretch. So I use either 5 or 4, whichever, because I have 2 B's in measure 13. I change there. I just put 3rd finger on the 2nd B. The 1st B I play with whatever finger's convenient. The 2nd line, again, is treble clef. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Over, and in measure 4 they don't need that natural sign, but it doesn't hurt to be clear, because the sharp sign in measure 3 is only good for measure 3, but it's okay, it doesn't hurt anything being there, it's clear. And then now in measure 5 they do need the natural sign here, because there's an F sharp in the key signature, so if they didn't have it, it'd be an F sharp. See, on measure 7, you had a C sharp. Measure 13, a C natural. They didn't give you a natural sign. Well, they don't need to. It's a natural. And then do it again. And on measure 9, we have 2 D's here. So the first D I'm going to play with some finger. And then I do a thumb. And then the last line. Okay, now play the 3rd part. Well, that's going to be down here. Which hand you use actually is pretty much up to you. You're only going to play 1 part. But I'll just stick with, I'm going to play right hand for treble and left hand for bass. Don't have to. I could do one hand, but whichever. I think the finger numbers they're giving are for the left hand for the bottom 2 stabs though. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. That's a trick there. Look at measure, what is it, 3? I mean, that's good. You got to be able to do that. But you also have 2 B's. You can always change on those B's. So if I do that, I can do a 3, 1, and I don't have to do that finger. And then here, measure 5, it's a 1 again. I don't know why they want a 1 again, but okay. Cross over for measure 6. last line is 2, 1. I don't know, again, really? Now on measure, 6, and again on measure, 14, there's other fingerings. Because it's like on measure 5, I have 2 G's. I'm changing here. Then with thumb, well, I could go with little finger instead of thumb. Now I'm in position for all this. So I played all that in one hand position, just crawling around a little bit. I didn't cross over the thumb. There's nothing wrong with the fingering they're showing. It's just there's different fingering styles, and the style that I typically use and teach is I don't cross over the thumb if I don't have to. And I don't have to, because I just 5th finger. So it's measure 5 again is 5th finger on the second one instead of 1, and then you're in position. And reach down. See, I got fingers on each of those notes, so I don't have, and you should be able to reach every other note with any adjacent fingers. No matter what they are, you should be able to go every other note, no matter how big your hands are. So that's all we're doing now. You do the same thing at the bottom if you wanted to on measure 13. Then the last part is down here. The bass, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Gotcha. And measure 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 2, 3. Measure 8, I use a 3 on the G. I'm going to stay in this position. Now, on measures 11 and 12, again, we don't need to cross over the thumb. You can if you want to. Nothing wrong with it. I don't want to. So, you're playing thumb on these D's for measures 10 and 11, and they want you to cross over. Well, I need to be, instead of measure 11 playing a thumb there, I'm going to use 3rd finger. That way I'm in position for these other notes. I didn't cross over the thumb. I'm taking advantage of the repeated notes to change hand positions. Different ways of fingering it, but that's what I would do. I can't read these 4 stabs all at one time and play them. There are a lot of people who can. They can take a conductor's score and actually play it. Leonard Bernstein or these prodigies, they could do that. I can't. I'm not a prodigy. I struggle with this stuff like most people. But you can, if you wanted to, record them, or better still, get more people playing. Now, if there's room, you could probably get everybody playing on one keyboard. However, it's probably better if you had at least 2 keyboards and 2 people on each keyboard. But if you do that, you want to space them out. So it's like the melody would be the melody and the first line, and the 3rd line would be on one keyboard, and then the 2nd line and the bass, the bottom line, would be on another keyboard. That way you're far enough, the parts are far enough apart, you're not getting in each other's way. That's just a suggestion. Or you could use 4 keyboards. Everybody gets their own. Oh, goody. And you play it all together. Now they say harmonize the measures 1 through 8 with primary chords. So we're in the key of G major. So you're 1 chord, the 4. They don't want the 5/7. They want the 5. Remember, a 5/7 note chord is 4 notes, and the C is the 7th. We'll just leave that out, and you got a 5 chord. Playing those, I don't know. That doesn't sound right. Well, try another chord. No. That sounds good, so go with that. Here, I like the 5 chord there, but it's like this is the 7th of the chord. But a 4 chord, that's in it. It's just this isn't. So it's here. experiment with that. I use primarily just the 1 and the 5 chord on it, but if you can stick in a 4 chord in there somewhere, if it fits, if you're going to use these notes in the melody somewhere, for the most part, you can. I just don't see anywhere where they would go very well. It's either the 1 chord or the 5 chord. Maybe you can get some 4 chords stuck in on the rest of it, although we're only doing the first 8 measures. For the harmony, you want to do it all, you go right ahead and torture yourself as long as you want to. I don't care. So in theory, I guess you could have 5 or 6 people playing, with 4 people playing each of these parts, and then 2 people playing harmony somewhere. Somebody could be up here playing harmony up here, somebody down here. Somebody could just be playing the root of the chord. Every time a 1 chord or 5 chord, or the 4 chord, whatever the root of the chord is. You have one person just doing that, just playing the root of the chord, or somebody else up here maybe playing the full chord or something. Your imagination is just this. However, let's talk briefly about playing in an ensemble. The problem people have with playing an ensemble is that when they're so used to playing a solo, when they get into the ensemble, they're still playing a solo. And you can't do that. You'll hear even people who should know better, when they get into an ensemble situation, it's like in the famous competitions, the Tchaikovsky competition, or the Van Cliburn, and you watch the contestants as they're performing, and they have to play in ensembles. A lot of times, you can tell they're just playing a solo. They're not playing in an ensemble. They're not listening to the ensemble. They're not blending in and fitting with the ensemble. They're just doing their thing. No, you got to listen to the ensemble. All the time you're playing your part, you've got to listen to the rest of the parts so it all fits together. And everybody's got to do it. You got to do it at the same speed, obviously. And if you're going to retard at the end, either you have a conductor that slows it down for you, or a lot of times it's the melody that will take the lead, and they will nod their head or something on the beat so everybody knows how much you're slowing down. Or you play together so much you just know each other and you know how much you're going to slow down because you've done it so much. Whatever. But you got to stay together. As far as the blending and dynamics and all that, well, some people got to be louder than others, and you got to know always where you are in that dynamic range. It's important in an ensemble. You got to listen to the ensemble as a whole and fit in. Anyway, that's my rant on ensemble playing. Let me know if you have questions. I'll be happy to ignore them, I think.